You know you've reached peak couple energy when your undies match. MeUndies Match Me has you both covered, literally, in super soft ultra-modal undies, socks, PJs, and loungewear. Festive prints? Check. Cozy vibes? Double check. And right now, it's deal season. Get up to 50% off site-wide for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Take your couple game to the next level with MeUndies Match Me. To get deals up to 50% off, go to MeUndies.com/ACAST. Enter promo code ACAST. That's MeUndies.com/ACAST. Code ACAST.
The holidays are coming, and I've got a Boost Mobile gift just for you. Aw, for me, Anna? Yes, Anna, you deserve a gift. The Boost Mobile Unlimited plan is just $10 a month for the first 2 months, then $25 a month forever, with unlimited data, talk, and text. It's a gift. Thanks, Anna. Anytime, Anna.
The holidays are here, and the best gift is for you. Offer valid at boostmobile.com. After your first 2 months, you'll pay $25 a month unless you go online or call to cancel. Requires autopay.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members because we were founded by members. We're not focused on Wall Street. We're focused on Main Street. So we've built dental plans with 100% coverage for in-network preventive care, with access to a nationwide network of nearly 600,000 provider locations. GEHA is proud to offer dental plans exclusively for federal employees, federal retirees, and military retirees. Visit GEHA.com to learn more.
You're only as good as your last chin performance.
Eavesdroppin.
Ah, it's you, Michelle.
It's you, Geordie.
G'day.
Oh, my good. Oh, g'day. G'day.
We're both in Australia, yet not together. Isn't that clever? No. Technology.
We can be anywhere. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're always together in our hearts, aren't we, Michelle?
In our hearts. I'm doing a little heart now, a little heart symbol, and that's for you, but also for all our eavesdroppers, because we heart them.
Oh, God, do we heart you. By the way, I'm Geordie.
And I'm Michelle, and you are listening to Eavesdroppin, the comedy podcast, believe it or not.
Comedy, real life, true crime, supernatural, all of the above. We cycle in and out of all of those three things. If you're a long-time listener, you'll know that.
And also sometimes the stories are a trifecta of all three.
Gosh, yes. Sometimes we overlap. Yeah, that's true. Michelle, on the social medias, I've got to say, I've seen some really good accounts on there with lots of followers, podcasts and whatnot, talking about things that we've already done.
Fuckers.
So I keep reaching out and saying, hi, we have similar interests. Go on over to Eavesdroppin to hear our take on your River Phoenix story. Go on over to Eavesdroppin to see our take on, what was it the other day that they did? It was one that I'd covered, the Dyatlov Pass. Other things, you know? So we are definitely zeitgeisty.
We are, but people, tell your friends.
Zeitgeisty.
Tell your family, tell your friends.
Tell them.
Spread the word.
Do the spreadies.
Do
That's
the
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God, speaking of spreadie.
What happened?
Peanut butter.
What? Is that a euphemism?
Peanut butter.
Oh.
No! Oh, my God. No! You're disgusting.
Well, to be fair, Michelle, you led me up the garden path there.
You're going to be talking about chocolate banana soon, you vile girl. Yes, think that through.
Ugh.
No, peanut butter. Australian peanut butter doesn't get better. I swear to you.
There's nothing better than peanut butter. Is that what you're saying? It's like an ad.
That's a slogan right there. Excuse me, people out there, peanut butter manufacturers. We've got the goods. Sign us up. Sponsor us.
We do a mean jingle.
We do a mean jingle. No, back to this bloody peanut butter. Penis butter, if it was when you were a kid.
Penis butter.
Penis butter and Vaginamite was...
That's true.
Peanut butter and Vegemite. That's a classic Aussie kid.
I've just had Vegemite on toast, actually, just this very moment.
Yum. I had the peanut butter, and God, it was good. And I put butter on first and the peanut butter on top.
Ooh,
I do double.
That's perfect.
Yeah, on a sourdough toast.
Oh, nice.
Very, very good.
Well, I hope everybody's
Feeling hungry.
because I've got a little bit of news. You know, we talked a lot about the funeral homes and things like that recently.
Oh,
yeah? We keep
yes.
having another story. It keeps popping up. Well, you may have heard it, Michelle, but there's news right now about a lady who woke up in her coffin when she was about to be cremated. That just happened.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What country?
Thailand.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
That is fucking terrifying.
65 years old. She was being driven by her brother to a Buddhist temple in God knows where in Thailand to be cremated when this happened. It was on Sunday, November 23rd, so a time of recording only a few days ago. And the brother thought that his sister, she'd been bedridden for like 2 years or something, he thought she died because it appeared that she stopped breathing. So he popped her in a God knows what. How he transported her, I don't know. That information wasn't available to me. But he took her first along to the hospital and tried to donate her organs, but they turned him away because he didn't have an official death certificate. When he went to the Bangkok hospital, 300-mile drive, right, to offer up the organs, he then said he heard a knocking noise coming from the coffin. So he did stick her in a coffin.
Fucking hell.
So they said, get that thing open. And they popped it open and
she's like, what the hell?
No, apparently the state of her was quite frail and she could barely open her eyes.
Oh.
And they said it appeared as though she must have been knocking for quite some time.
My God.
Horrific.
Absolutely horrific. This is my worst nightmare.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of people's.
Not dead. Not dead. Knock, knock. Not dead. Oh, my God. Well, I was going to say only in Thailand. No, anywhere. This could happen anywhere.
Could, would, and does.
Bloody hell. Thanks for that.
That's all right. What about you? Have you got any news?
No, is it a telly wreck? I'm not sure.
Go for it. I've not seen any television apart from a film on a plane, which I must recommend.
What is it?
Sinners. I finally got to see Sinners, that plantation era vampire film. So it's a little like, it's got a little bit of the vibes of Dusk Until Dawn about it.
Okay.
But it's all about music as well. And it's amazing. One guy plays twins in it. And it's also quite mind-bending because it makes you realize that, you know, that slave era, that cotton picking era.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fucking long ago.
No.
The Klan era, you know? Horrific.
Yep.
It was a real eye-opener. It was also fun and entertaining and scary. And I'd like to see it again now I know what the scares are because I was getting quite anxious, Michelle, on the plane.
Yeah.
Scared about what was coming next and scared I might scream out loud like I did when I watched Nope on a plane.
Oh, God. You watched that on a plane.
I did. But then I've seen it about 4 times since. It was such a good film.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Sinners is my absolute number one recommendation. I love the music element of it.
Well, do you know what? I remember I had gone to the cinema to see, what is it, like 28 Years a Slave, or I don't know, whatever
I haven't seen that
movie was. I can't remember the title.
Steve McQueen, the artist.
No, with the hot guy.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
No, the other one.
Idris.
Oh, yes, Steve McQueen, yes.
Thank you.
Michael Fassbender, the hottie.
Oh, Fassbender.
Fassbender. He's
Right,
the
yeah.
hottie, yes. And I remember going to the cinema with my friend, Hugh. Shout out to Hugh, who always says he'll listen, never fucking does. I remember at the end of it, he was really a little bit overwrought. And he's like, what did you think? And I was like, I thought it would be more harrowing. I thought there would be more. And he was like, what? Are you
God.
insane? And
You are one tough bitch.
I know, that's what he said. He's like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, you are a walking horror show.
Thank you. Eavesdroppers, if you watched 28 Years a Slave and thought, fuck me, that was absolutely horrific, and I'm here going, yeah, I thought it would be a bit more harrowing.
No.
Tell me if you think I'm wrong.
I don't think I'm going to go there because I can't bear the horror.
Okay.
Yeah, go and tell me your recommendation.
Yes, this was not the wreck. The wreck was from Eavesdropper Steph, a.k.a.
Great.
my sister. She was watching, I jumped in midway, a TV series called The Beast in Me. It's the new Claire
yes,
Danes.
I want to watch that. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Good.
On the fence. Second of all, I cannot stand Claire Danes.
Really?
In Australia, there's this big backlash about Claire Danes' chin acting. because her chin...
She's got a wobbly chin.
Her chin is stealing every scene, and not in a good way. It is so distracting. She's doing the lip quiver. She's doing the chin wobble. The chin is doing all the acting. The chin is going to get the Oscar more than she will.
Oh, okay.
And it is awful. And she's overacting like a bitch in this series.
Yikes.
And I cannot bear it because she used to be quite good.
Yeah.
But Claire Danes doesn't look like Claire Danes anymore.
What's happened? Surgery?
Maybe just age. Happens to us all.
Okay, well, let's not give her a hard time about that.
No, she can't help that.
No.
But that chin acting, tone it down, bitch.
Tone down the chin act. Bit late now. It's in the can.
I know, but for next time, if she gets any more roles, and after this, no one wants that chin on screen. But if she does get another role, tone
You're
it
only
down.
as good as your last chin performance.
Chin wobble, your chin acting. So if anyone has watched The Beast in Me, and look, there is some twists and turns. Oh, yeah, kind of, yeah. But if anyone's got any opinions on Claire Danes' chin, write in, because I want to know I'm clearly not the only one. It's all over Facebook. Everyone's stressed out about her chin.
Well, listen, the only TV I've been exposed to was the entire latest series of Selling Sunset. That happened to get me through a 24-hour flight, which was handy. It's such shit, though. I can't even remember what happened. Just some nice houses, a bunch of bitches, good outfits, and...
That's all you need to know.
Oh, and some fires in the middle, because it was filmed during the LA fires, which was heartbreaking.
Yeah, but that's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. And now I'm in Australia. My parents, who I'm staying with, they like a daily dose of The Bold and the Beautiful, which is an American soap opera that's been going for 100 years.
Oh, that really takes me right back to university when all we did was miss lectures so we could watch Bold and the Beautiful. And then we had the Bold and the Beautiful party. Do you remember?
God,
for our
no, I don't.
darling friend Sarah.
Oh, that was online.
Online, during COVID, we had our Bold and the Beautiful video party.
So for me, that was tricky because I've never really watched it before.
Oh
but
my
all I did
God.
was watch about 15 minutes, if that, while I was in the kitchen and my parents were glued. And already I know a bunch of stuff because each scene is like this. What? Mom and Dad, you're going to give me the beach house? What? Where all those shootings happened and Nova killed Sheila, or no, she shot Sheila and all that horrible stuff happened. Yeah, but there's hope here too, William, his name is. And he's got this girlfriend by his side, and then they're standing out the front on the beach house. And now I can't believe it, Mom and Dad. Not only do I have this gorgeous beach house, I also have my mom and dad have just reconnected and they're not divorcing anymore. Oh my God. And then there's this poor woman in jail who believes that this guy is her man, and she's obviously the one that shot everyone. And then I made the mistake of asking my mum at the dinner table last night what happened in Bold and Beautiful today, just to make conversation. Oh my God, it didn't make any sense. She got confused. I got confused. It was confusion all round.
Can I ask, is the theme song still the same?
I missed the theme, but I imagine it.
God.
You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It used to be a sexy sax, and it'd be... It's
a lot. That's a lot.
Oh my God, it was so iconic.
It'll be the same.
We had, back in the day, Brooke, Thorne,
Yeah. I
Rich,
think they're all still in it. Yeah.
Stephanie, who was the mum.
Not sure.
She was
She
the
might have
bitch mum.
died.
Oh my God.
I don't know. She was old, right?
She was old, even then.
I'll ask.
Oh, yes.
I'll get back to you.
Telerex for sure. Telerex, one more. I'm watching telly. You're watching telly. We're watching telly on the telly.
It's the television. Okay, well, I will ask my mum about all those characters.
Please
from Blast
do,
from the
and
Past.
tell her. I think that's where I have my love of a white robe. It's from Bold and the Beautiful. I think that's where it came from. We
Got it.
We always used to...
Makes sense
Yeah,
now.
we used to watch Bold in the white fluffy bathrobe.
Fabulous. What are we talking about this week, Michelle? Murder.
And death. And just dodgy ladies.
Dodgy ladies. You know, women are capable of bad things too. We're not all
Yes.
gentle and kind.
No, we're not all carers. So look, this week I'm looking at a right bloody serial killer called Betty Neumar,
Oh.
also known as the Black Widow Granny.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, right. I feel like I've heard her name before. She must be famous for being a murdering granny.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to get you to hold all your thoughts
And
because
the horses are being held.
hold them tight,
Okay.
rein that in. We're going to go back to July 13, 1986. I would have loved to have
That's a
done
good time.
the top 10. Did not.
Shall I just get you a top 3 quickly? You
all
continue
right.
to tell me.
Good. July 13, 1986. It all kicked off with the murder of Harold Gentry. When he was murdered, it sent a shockwave through the small town of Norwood, North Carolina.
I've got some songs for you.
Good.
That's What Friends Are For by Dionne Warwick and Friends. Walk This Way by Run DMC and Aerosmith. And
yeah.
Take My Breath Away by Berlin. Whatever.
Take my breath away. Did I sing those lyrics
So
wrong
good.
too? Do you know what? I spoke to my sister about Shy, and I said, you know, I always grew up singing Shy. And she's like, it's just Shy. And then I listened to it. I went back and I watched the video, and in my ears, I hear Shy. What is going on?
That's some sort of Mandela effect going on there.
I don't know, but I said, no, Steph, Shy. And she's like, no, just Shy.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, okay.
So tell us about Betty and Walter. What's his name?
Harold. All right. So 86.
Yep.
Harold murdered.
Oh,
Shockwaves.
gosh.
And apparently Norwood was a nice, safe little town back then. People didn't lock their doors. Everyone knew everyone. According to reports, Harold was also just a nice, friendly chap. Everyone liked him.
Uh-huh.
So when he was found shot dead inside his own home, people couldn't comprehend it. They were like, how could this happen to Harold? But according to an article in Cleveland's Plain Dealer newspaper, just before his death, Harold had apparently told his brother Al things weren't rosy at home with his wife Betty.
Oh, he was married to Betty. Okay.
Yes, he was. Sorry if I did not
You
make
didn't
that
mention that.
connection clear. So apparently Harold told Al, never trust that woman. She isn't who she says she is.
Oh, okay.
Now, look, Al brushed it off at the time, but after Harold died, that cryptic warning was like a knife to the gut.
Alarm bells.
Yep, and those words would haunt Al for the next 20 years because for all of his suspicions about Betty, it would take more than 20 years before the unraveling of Betty's life
Really?
would happen in a way that was kind of bizarre. We're going to look a little bit at Betty.
Okay.
She was born Betty Walden Johnson in Ohio, 1931. Her dad was a coal miner, but around that time when the mines were starting to wind down, he moved the family to Florida so he could work on the railroads. So what is that? Blue collar?
Yeah.
Not even collar, just working class.
Itinerant, having to move where the work is. Yeah, pretty hand-to-mouth existence by the sound of it.
I would say so.
Manual labour. Tough times.
Tough times.
Depression times.
Betty did finish high school in 1949, and right after, at the age of 18, she got married for the first time to a guy called Clarence Malone, who was a local boy. He was 19, but the marriage to Clarence was a dud. And in 1951, just a year after they married, according to NBC News, she filed papers in court accusing him of abuse, and they separated and got divorced soon after. Although she did have a baby with Clarence, a boy they called Gary, who was later adopted by Betty's second husband, James Flynn.
Oh, little baby Gary. That's all I wanted to say there.
Baby Gaza.
It's like little baby Ian and little baby Gary.
Yes, I know what you mean. It's
Little baby Ian.
Ian. Or
Little baby Paul.
Nigel.
Little baby Nigel. I think Nigel's quite cool.
What?
Coming back. Yeah, I think
Is it
Nigel's a cool
coming
name.
back?
Yeah, like
Nige?
Arthur. Nigel, Arthur, Wilfred, those kind of names.
Yeah,
Cool.
but they're cute. Wilf. Wilfie.
Nige.
Nigel. Nigel boy.
Yeah.
I don't know about Nigel.
I'd take a Nigel. Robin.
Robin's cute.
Robin's cute too.
I'd take a
but
Robin.
Paul, Ian particularly,
John.
I'd take offence to. John's fine. Johnny, that's rock and roll.
Jono. Yeah,
Johnny.
okay. Yeah.
Moving on. Sorry. Little baby Gary.
Little baby Gaz. So, I've already moved on to a little side note I wanted to tell you about.
Little baby Barry. What about that? Little baby Barry.
Barry.
This is baby Barry.
Side note, Golden Bachelor, who, what a shocker, last episode, if anyone who knows you know what I'm talking about, he's Canadian. His real name was Barry, but they called him Bear.
Right.
Bear. Like Barry, Bear.
All right. Bear. That's what it meant. It was like bear.
Yeah. dickhead. Anyway, new side note for this.
Okay.
Betty. You know, Clarence is dead.
Yeah.
Al was told she's not who she says he is.
Yeah.
She is. But when you look at stories about Betty, they all are like, oh my God, what a husband killer. Turns out Clarence,
Yes.
who is the first husband, right?
Yeah.
This really is a side note, sorry. Because we've talked about bloody names and everything. I've lost my train of thought. Clarence was the first husband. It was a dud, right?
Yeah.
Got divorced. He did not die until 20 years later.
So she didn't hurt him, is what you're trying to say.
Well, I'm saying he got shot and it was ruled a homicide.
Huh?
But Betty is like, oh my God, you know, Black Widow granny, 5 dead husbands. Spoiler, 5 dead husbands.
Okay.
And I'm like, 20 years later? So just
Does
hold
he
that
count?
thought.
Right.
Yeah, he was shot, capped. Oh my God, you've got all the lingo, don't you? Gangster.
I didn't say that.
I thought you said, was he capped?
He got shot. No, I said
But what did you say after?
he got killed. Oh, I can't remember. I
thought you
don't
said-
believe I said that.
I thought you said capped, and I'm like, oh my God, she's
I
been
didn't.
watching The Sopranos.
No, I've never heard that expression before in my life.
Well,
I'm a bit confused right now, I will admit.
yes, good, because it's all going to unravel. Yes. Okay, look, we started with Harold.
Yeah.
Harold.
Harold, not Clarence.
That's right. Clarence was
Yeah.
husband number
number
one.
2. Hang on. Clarence is number 1. Harold is number 2. Harold dies first.
No.
No?
Harold's number 4. I'm getting to this.
Okay.
Before she even met poor old Harold in 1967, who was husband number 4,
Yeah.
of course there were other husbands, and even another child, a daughter named Peggy, who was born to Betty's second husband, James Flynn. Then there was the third husband, Richard Sills, who was in the US Navy. And that's when Betty met Harold, because Harold was stationed in Key West with the army, and that's how they kind of caught each other's eye. They got married in 1968, and another daughter, Kelly, was born the following year.
So there's kids racking up, there's marriages racking up.
Exactly. But we're going to go to husband number 4, Harold Gentry, because the Gentrys, Betty's now Betty Gentry, it was total typical military family, you know, lots of moving around and a couple of overseas postings. When Harold retired after 21 years in uniform, like I said, they settled in his hometown of Norwood because Harold's sister and brother-in-law gave them a piece of land. So they built a little house on it and everything seemed pretty nice for a while. But then, July 14, 1986, everything turned to shit. So Harold was found lying face down in his own living room. He was shot dead from multiple gunshot wounds. And it was, investigators said, an ambush.
So there's multiple.
There's multiple gunshot wounds, and they
Right.
believed it was an ambush because apparently they had a sunken living room.
Oh, very stylish.
Yeah, I know. Harold, shot and killed. It was consistent with the shooter being in like the lower area.
Yeah.
But anyway, the house did look like it had been ransacked. Drawers pulled out, shit everywhere. It led police to think that Harold had walked in on a burglary and it had all gone wrong.
Okay.
Because he apparently had a collection of valuable antique clocks. He liked to repair them. It was rumoured around this small town that those clocks were worth money, but no sign of forced entry. So that's, as we know from recent stories,
Yes.
when there's no forced entry,
That kind of thing usually is a bit of a red flag.
oftentimes someone you know.
Inside job.
But on the flip side, Betty wasn't home when Harold was killed. She was in Augusta, Georgia, 3.5 hours away. She was having her truck repaired. So apparently she rushed home as soon as she heard that he'd been killed. But Al Gentry, the brother, who arrived quickly at the scene, he said he found her behaviour unsettling. And he told People magazine there were no tears. He said if she had had tears and had asked, why has somebody killed Harold? I wouldn't have thought anything of it. Instead, Al says Betty just seemed focused on explaining her absence. I wasn't here. Keen to establish an alibi.
Yes.
Apparently she was doing that before anyone even asked. Like, where were you? Were you here? Fishy, yes. So for years, that case went nowhere. There were no suspects, no arrests. Literally, year by year, that case is getting colder. But Al, the brother, wouldn't let it go. He went back again and again to the various sheriffs, asking them to reopen the case. But it wasn't until 2006, 2 decades, 20 years after
Blimey.
Harold's death, that Al finally found someone willing to listen to him. And it was the newly elected sheriff, Rick Burris, who finally agreed to take another look at Harold's case. And he assigned the case to a detective, Lieutenant Scott Williams, and a detective Petler, who were then working with the DA's office. Almost immediately after they started looking at the case files, they were like, this burglary theory makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because they said the things that were missing, because there were a couple of things missing, I don't know what, but they were inconsistent with the level of the ransacking. Also, the number of shots seemed excessive because they were like, it was an execution, not some kind of random shooting of somebody trying to shoot themselves out of a robbery. To them, it looked like Harold had been deliberately targeted. And when they started digging into Betty's past, when they realised she'd been married 5 times and all her husbands were dead, with 2 of them murdered, one supposedly committing suicide, and the remaining 2 dying under suspicious circumstances, of course, the detectives were like, we need to take a closer look at Betty.
Can I pause you for a moment?
Yes.
So does that mean there is no husbands left standing whatsoever?
No husbands left.
Gotcha. What do you think?
I'm not sure about that. I'm probably chopping and changing a lot here. So I'm glad you're asking questions because in my mind, because I already know this story.
Makes sense to you.
But there's a lot of chippy-choppy.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Clarence Malone, her first husband, he was shot once in the back of the head in 1970 in Ohio, 20 years after they'd split. So in the years after, Betty, Clarence had remarried twice. He'd opened up this car repair shop. Remember, she'd said that he was abusive.
Had she?
Maybe he was abusive. Yeah, that's why when she filed the divorce papers a year after they got married, she told the courts he was abusive. So, look, maybe he was. You know, giving Betty the benefit of the doubt here, maybe he was remarried twice after because he was not a good husband. I don't know. Don't mean to speak ill of the dead. He had opened this car repair shop. He was shot outside that car repair shop.
God.
Police at the time found no signs of robbery, no clear motive for why he would be shot, and the killer was never caught. Now, at the time, Betty was not even considered a suspect because why would she?
She was nowhere
be?
around.
She'd been divorced for 20 years. But there was also no evidence that would link her to the crime. But then when people started digging into this and they realised all her 5 husbands were dead, they were like, is there something going on here? Then James Flynn, the second husband, he died in 1955. Apparently, Betty had told some people James had just frozen to death in a truck in New York.
Huh?
Yeah. Other people, she told them he'd been shot on a pier in New York.
Oh, I see. This is her version of how he passed away.
This is her version of how he died. Then she told other people, oh, yeah, he died in New York on a pier. So she's telling all these different stories. Inconsistent, Betty. Come on. Then when investigators started to dig into that death, they could not find much more than a death certificate in his name. And there was no one except Betty who could say what really happened to him. And her story kept changing. No one knew. Big question mark over the death of James. Then there was the third husband, Richard Sills, the Navy guy. He died in 1967 from what was officially recorded as a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Apparent suicide.
Yeah, i.e. he shot himself dead in the bedroom of their trailer home in Florida. Daughter Peggy, she was 11 at the time.
Oh, God.
She was apparently in the room next door.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she says she heard her mum and stepfather arguing and then a gunshot. This is a quote. He was laying on the bed and he went into snorting. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
I don't know. And he rolled off the bed and I asked the paramedic if he was dead and they said to me, get out of here. That's all I remember.
That's her take at 11.
But poor kid.
Poor child.
So Betty then told the police that they had been alone in the room and arguing when he pulled out a gun and shot himself. Authorities did rule it a suicide, although the Naval Criminal Investigative Service got involved. Many years later, the files showed that Richard had 2 bullet wounds.
Oh, they didn't see that at first?
No.
Whoa.
And this is a quote from Detective Williams, who had reopened this case. He said, if you try to commit suicide with a gun, if you shoot yourself the first time and you don't die, your body automatically goes into a defensive mode where you throw the gun down. So you never see anyone commit suicide by shooting themselves twice. No. I mean, if you're doing it in the head, half your head's blown off, but you're not dead,
okay.
you know?
Yeah.
So 2 gunshot wounds, 2 bullets.
Fishy.
So at the time of Richard's death, Gary, who was living with them, and Peggy, so baby Gaz is now older.
Okay.
He's older now. They're in the next room. And according to Gary's wife, Cecilia, she says they heard them arguing in another room. Then a shot rang out. Gary told me he ran into the room and saw the body. There was blood all over, and that image just stayed with him. Now, side note, Gary himself would die young from an apparent suicide in 1985.
No.
Cecilia, the wife, said after Gary died, Betty got the $10,000 insurance payout. And Cecilia said of Betty,
oh my God,
she was just not a nice person.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Even her own child.
Yes.
It appears, allegedly.
Yes. So there are questions around Gary's death too.
Man.
So after Harold's death, remember we're talking now husband number 4, yep. Betty left Norwood and moved to Augusta, Georgia, where she met her 5th husband, John Neumar. Oh. Now remember, where had she been when Harold was shot?
I can't tell you.
Augusta, Georgia, getting her truck repaired.
Oh, right, yes.
I'm just saying, this is not anyone else's theory but mine. Maybe they'd already met.
Super sleuth.
That's me. These two, they got married in 1991. Apparently John was quite well off, worth more than $300,000. But by the year 2000, they had filed for bankruptcy. They were over $200,000 in debt, with over 43 credit cards, all like racked up.
Oh, it makes me uncomfortable.
No, I mean, they were bankrupt. When John died in 2007 from sepsis, he was 79.
Okay.
And his children were stunned.
Stunned?
Because it was very sudden.
Oh, well, sepsis can be.
Yes, that's true. But the way they found out that their father had died was they saw the obituary in the newspaper.
Oh, no, that's not okay.
Betty hadn't even called them.
Nuh-uh.
And by then, when the kids had seen this obituary notice, Betty'd already had him cremated.
Oh, shit.
Done. So apparently the symptoms of sepsis are the same as the symptoms of arsenic poisoning.
Oh.
So, of course, Betty came under suspicion, especially from his kids.
Yeah.
Authorities tested those ashes. And, side note here, good fucking luck with that because as we know, might just be
concrete
cement dust.
Yep.
Exactly. They did test those ashes and the cremains. I always think that's a hilarious name.
Is that real?
That's what they call it, the cremains. It's kind of gross. It's like cremation remains. They did have heavy metals. Yes, but they couldn't determine the quantity of those heavy metals. Okay. So therefore, inconclusive. Nothing else could be done. Betty's off the hook.
Yeah, and you can't really arrest someone and point the finger at somebody criminally or legally on hunches and patterns of behaviour and things. You really need the concrete proof.
Literally, that concrete dust proof. Anyway, look, all these dead husbands were hard to ignore. And following this, revived investigation, Betty was actually charged in 2008 with 3 counts of solicitation to commit first-degree murder because she was accused of trying to hire hitmen. Yeah. So this included a former police officer to kill Harold back in 1986.
Yes, I assumed it would be a third party, yep.
Yes. Now, Betty was 76 years old when she was arrested.
Yeah.
Apparently, one of these alleged hitmen had actually come forward at the time of Harold's murder, telling police Betty had tried to recruit a killer and that he'd been offered cash and a pickup truck in exchange for the job. But the officer who took the statement was like, sounds like bullshit.
Oh, no.
The lead was ignored. Then, 2 decades later, that testimony helped to get this cold case basically out of the freezer.
Right.
So Betty was extradited from Georgia back to North Carolina, where she was put into Stanley County Jail. Bail was set at $500,000. Al went to the press and said the same thing. She slipped up. If she just had some tears, I would never have suspected her.
Ah.
So Al was really the one pushing for this.
So you need to show emotions.
Yes.
That's another thing altogether.
It's a bit mean.
Yeah.
Because People grieve in different ways.
That's true, yeah. And it's a woman, you expect her to be bawling her eyes out, and just because she's not. But obviously, in this case, bad example.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But 5 dead husbands. And now it's in the media.
Yeah.
And they were the ones that dubbed her the Black Widow granny.
Yeah.
But for all this speculation, Geordie, the evidence is patchy.
Yeah, sure. You know, we've talked on this podcast about a woman with 5 dead babies.
Yes.
And it wasn't her.
And she didn't do it.
Yeah.
So, look, meanwhile, back in North Carolina, investigators were trying to put together this portrait of a woman who was just like a serial killer, you know, different men, different names, different towns, you know, mystery. But with so many years gone by, the evidence is thin. People's memories are unreliable. I mean, she's in her 70s at this point.
She's still alive?
Well, no.
Oh, okay, right. Holding horses?
Holding horses. But she did manage to post the bail and she was released. Actually, the BBC did a documentary about her called The Black Widow Granny, ? And when that aired in 2009, Betty was 77 and back living quietly in Georgia awaiting trial. It was Harold's death that was the real focus for the North Carolina prosecution. And the whole thing rested on the testimony of witnesses who said she had hired these hitmen. It was circumstantial. Also, you know, the burglary looked like it was staged, but there was no forensic proof linking her to anything. But the indictment did allege that she'd sought out this police officer and her neighbour to kill her husband, and the motive was supposedly 20 grand in life insurance.
All right, she's
not much.
Looking for cash, yeah, but she's accumulative, isn't she?
Yeah. In the case of her 5th husband, who died in 2007 in Georgia, as mentioned, sepsis, but it also came out that obviously she'd gone and had him cremated really quickly. Her kids said it was weird because a burial plot had been bought years earlier for John. So why did Betty insist on having a quickie cremation?
Right.
So this is also raising suspicions.
One moment, please. I've just seen an echidna for the first time in my life. It's on the doorstep.
Oh, my God. Go out.
Oh,
Go
my
out and
God,
have a little pat.
That was incredible.
Oh, my God. I've never seen an echidna.
Me either. It's right under the bush under my window right now.
Little cutie.
You know you've reached peak couple energy when your undies match. MeUndies Match Me has you both covered, literally, in super soft ultra-modal undies, socks, PJs, and loungewear. Festive prints? Check. Cozy vibes? Double check. And right now, it's deal season. Get up to 50% off site-wide for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Take your couple game to the next level with MeUndies Match Me. To get deals up to 50% off, go to MeUndies.com/ACAST. Enter promo code ACAST. That's MeUndies.com/ACAST. Code ACAST.
Okay, death.
Back to the death.
Back to the death. So Betty obviously had this quickie cremation, even though there was a plot bought for the body of John. And then it seems other people were not convinced by the sketchy evidence because in late 2008, the case against Betty stalled. She was out on bail. She was living under supervision. She kept insisting she was innocent, and she told the BBC that she had nothing to hide. And when asked about the accusations, she was like, it's nuts. And she said later on, it's going to eat their heart out. The hate and discontent that they're living in will make them miserable. She's a bit of a God-fearing lady. She describes herself as a victim of small-town suspicion and coincidence. And she said, in her words, got no insurance from the first one, no insurance from the third one. And after Harold's death, she only got $50,000. And she said, as far as all this money and all this stuff goes, there wasn't none.
Oh.
And she said she denied ever trying to arrange hitmen. And her daughters, Peggy and Kelly, in this documentary, they say that she was a caring and loving mother and a caring and loving grandmother. And they said that they just believed that their mum had been dealt a bad hand.
Right.
And both daughters disputed suggestions that their father's death or the deaths of Betty's other husbands were anything other than tragic coincidence.
Wow.
She often referred to her faith, saying, if you're going to heaven, you have to forgive. You don't have to forget, but you have to forgive. And I don't know who she's saying that in reference to. But obviously, you know, all of this media attention is bringing suspicion on her. I'm not convinced, Geordie.
You're not convinced. So the jury is well and truly out.
Well, the thing is, there were loads of delays in this case. It was complex, 20 years plus. You know, it moved slowly. And then in June 2011, before any actual proceedings could begin, she died of cancer in hospital.
Right.
She was 79. Her death effectively closed the investigation.
Yeah.
And even though Harold's murder remains an open case, it's kind of dead in the water, really. After she died, there's been loads of dodgy TV show segments. You know, things like she was featured in a series called Deadly Women and in Matriarchs of Murder episode.
There's no conclusive proof, and it could be that she is just the victim of some really horrific sets of circumstances.
Yeah, and by 2012, the deaths of her 5 husbands and her son Gary, they were under investigation, but no proof. Yeah. So to recap here, in total, Betty married 5 times between 1950 and 1991. Yeah. Her first marriage to Clarence ended in divorce. He was shot dead in 1970. Her second husband, James Flynn, died in 1955, reportedly in New York, shot himself, maybe fell off a pier, maybe froze to death.
Some way, somehow.
Third husband, the Navy guy, Richard, died of a gunshot wound in Florida in their trailer after an argument. That, to me, is the most suspicious.
That's iffy.
Fourth husband, Harold, murdered in his home after a possible burglary gone wrong. She wasn't there. Did she hire a hitman? And then fifth husband died in Georgia of sepsis, or was it arsenic?
And we'll never know.
No, because authorities were never able to definitively link her to any of these deaths.
What's the upshot?
Well, was there ever really any foul play? Or did she just have a shit life and end up looking like a serial killer? Because the upshot is no evidence, lady's dead, it's all over.
No conviction.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thoughts? What do you reckon?
Well, I'm as stumped as you, Michelle. Really, I've only got what you've told me to go on, and by all accounts, it's like either a really set of shit circumstances or she's after just paltry amounts
cash.
Of life insurance. Yeah. And would she really kill her own son?
I don't know. It's all a bit much. Thoughts, please. Do write in.
It's a thinker, that one. I'll be thinking. So there you go. Where do you go? There you go. So, Michelle, thank you for that very convoluted story about a Black Widow. I, too, have a very convoluted story with some weird dates, and you're going to be asking questions and making me backtrack because it's all over the shop. But this one's from an eavesdropper and researcher. Hello, Charlene. Happy chappy.
We love her.
We do. She's been researching her socks off for us. She's currently on the intern rate of 0, but climbing up the ranks as we do. She sent me this, the Black Widow of Sussex.
Oh.
There's plenty of Black Widows out there, Michelle.
Yes.
But this one, though, I was really surprised I'd never heard of her. Dena Thompson, her name is. She's also the subject of a hell of a lot of crime docs, which I'll tell you about later. And she's known as one of Britain's most notorious female criminals. Not only is she a scammer, she's also a bigamist.
What?
And a con artist. That means she's married more than once, just in case you're wondering what that meant. Because you seem really shocked.
It's just more like, what the hell? She's like everything.
What now?
She's a tick, tick, tick lady.
Did I say she's also a convicted murderer? Did I say that bit?
I think at the beginning. I think you led with that.
Okay. Well, she became known as the Black Widow, not just because she preyed on men she met through singles ads, but also because the men who she got close to tended to lose everything.
Right.
Their money, their safety, and in one case, their life. A little bit about this lady. Dena Holmes was born in 1960 and raised in Hendon in North London, which is also the home of the British Police Training Institute. You may have heard of it if you watch The Bill and things like that. On the whole, she's pretty ordinary. She worked in a building society. I mean, how much more ordinary can that be?
I worked in a bank.
Did you? I never knew that about you. When?
Westpac.
Is that after McDonald's?
After I stopped giving free shit to all my friends at the drive-thru and got in trouble.
Did you give free shit to people when you worked in the bank as well? I would love to have been a customer.
Wouldn't that have been good?
Okay.
No.
Later on, Deana moved to Sussex with her first husband, Lee Wyatt. She met this guy Lee in the early 80s and married him in 1984 and had a son. Now, I've tried to find more information about this kid, the son they had. Couldn't find any, so forgive me. If you ask about him later on, I will not have the answers. I did try.
So no name.
No name, nowhere. Where is he now kind of thing. I don't know.
I think we should call him Ian.
Little baby Ian. So electrician Lee had a side hustle, and a good one at that. He dabbled with creating soft toys, teddies and whatnot.
That's so cute, actually.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it cute? Deana had a hand in helping invent one of these little furry friends, and one day came in very excited to tell Lee that Disney got in touch and they were willing to pay them £50 million for a character that they had created together.
This sounds like a scam.
Nice one, Michelle, because it wasn't true. Deana had gone to a hell of a lot of trouble to print out letterheaded paper, and she'd shown her hubby forged documents. Remember, this is the 80s. She used also the same method to make him believe later on, after he got all excited about this 50 mil. She got him to believe that the mafia had got wind of it, of this insanely expensive toy, right? And that they wanted in on a share of their earnings.
What the hell?
And apparently the mafia were putting screws on and threatening to murder their little baby Ian if they did not comply.
Oh my God. So she's extorting her own husband?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Basically, she invented this massive windfall and then invented the bad guys coming to get him. So, and also there was more forged documents left, right and centre, some supposedly from gangsters, some apparently from the FBI. So poor Lee Wyatt was left fearing for his safety, and Deana convinced him he would be better off going into deep hiding for his safety.
God. This woman.
So he did.
Shit.
Off he went. He even adopted a name, Colin Mitchell. That's another one, little baby Colin.
Oh, Colin.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. So he adopted the name of Colin Mitchell, went deep underground and continued working. He was living somewhere like on the streets, living rough in Cornwall or somewhere far. And every time he earned any money, he would just deposit his earnings directly into his dear faithful wife Deana's account.
Oh.
Genuinely believing that he was hiding from the hitman.
Oh, God.
Sometime later then, in 1994, now this is a long time later, Lee began to wonder why he was actually on the run. He started to question it.
How many years did it take him?
Many years. I don't know the maths, but he was on her doorstep saying, hey, where are these mafia guys? Where's this G-Squad?
And where's the 50 mil?
Where's any of it? So Deana later accused him of assault, which was proven to be untrue. And then she went ahead and stole £23,000 from the building society where she worked and tried to pin the blame on him.
Shit.
Eventually, though, Michelle, she was caught and jailed for 18 months in 1995 for the theft of the money. And Lee was like, that's it, I'm divorcing you. And this is 1997, he divorced her. However, while she was married to Lee before, so we're going back to 1991 now, while poor old Lee was on the run as Colin Mitchell, running from the mafia, Deana got married to another man called Julian Webb in 1991. What? Yeah, she married somebody else while poor old Lee was on the run.
God.
Yeah.
And still taking his money every week.
Oh, yeah.
That little bitch.
So this is what happened to make her a bigamist. She's in this bigamist marriage with Julian. He had no idea that it was illegal. And she also tried to convince husband number 2, Julian, that she had cancer and needed money for the treatments. So she managed to squeeze about £25,000 from him for treatments which she diverted into her own bank accounts.
Oh, my God. Never lie about cancer.
Not cool.
Not cool.
Then, in 1994, on Julian's 31st birthday, he suddenly died.
What?
Julian.
Too young. Too young to die.
Julian's mum was ringing to say happy birthday. And she got Deana on the phone 3 times. Each time, Deana told Julian's mum he was too ill to speak to her or to open his cards and presents. Julian's mum was begging Deana to get him medical help, but she didn't. The next morning, Julian's mum got a devastating call from police informing her that her son was dead.
Oh, my God.
She couldn't believe it.
Worst nightmare for any mother.
Apparently, he'd taken his own life. His mother did not believe this because the last time they spoke, he was discussing plans for a fishing trip and was excited about moving to Florida with Deana.
Florida in your story, Florida in my story.
Florida comes up a lot. This shock turned to anger when Julian's mum then discovered that Deana went into Julian's workplace the day after he died to request that his £36,000 death benefit be paid to her.
Fuck, man. Give it more than a day.
That was enough for Julian's mum. She had always had her doubts about this woman, Deana, since her son married her hastily after a whirlwind 3-month fling. And that's without knowing that she was already married to some poor bastard who was on the run from imaginary mafia. So she set about proving that she was the legal next of kin. And in doing so, Julian's mother, found out that Deana was still married to her first husband when she married her son, thus making Deana a bigamist.
And it would have meant that the mother was the next of kin and Deana wouldn't have got the money?
Exactly that.
Oh,
she
so
also
good.
had to put a fight up to stop Deana from getting Julian cremated immediately. Shades of your story.
Oh, my God, cremains.
She insisted that he be buried near the family home on Hayling Island. And after his death, Deana went round telling people it was a tragic overdose and that he had been depressed. At the time, the coroner recorded an open verdict and the case went cold for a while. So Deana spent the next few years dating and defrauding many more men, including a Gatwick Airport customs officer who she left stranded in, you guessed it, Florida, and a teacher who was so infatuated he quit his job and gave her his life savings when she claimed to have, you guessed it, cancer. And then in 1998, after eventually divorcing her first husband, Lee Wyatt, less than 6 months after being released from her stint in prison for the robbery of the money from the Building Society, Deana went on to remarry after meeting a man called Richard Thompson. They moved in together in the Sussex coastal town of Rustington near Brighton. But before long, that pesky cancer came back and she convinced her new husband to stump up funds for treatment. So she's got a bit of an MO going on here.
Yeah, and cancer, like you don't fuck with cancer. Can I ask, is she a looker? Is she pretty?
She didn't look bad. I have seen pictures. She looks still quite young as well. He stumped up the funds for treatment. He quit his job, took early retirement and handed over his pension to Deana. And on New Year's Day in 2000, Deana suggested a sexy game to Richard where she would blindfold him, tie him up. And all of this was consented by Richard, who was completely, I'm going to say it, cunt-struck.
Yep.
Sorry. Once he was helpless, Deana came in with a baseball bat and a knife. I know. He didn't know. He's just there thinking, when's the sexy time start?
Yeah. When's the paddle coming? Not a baseball bat. Jesus.
Well, it's a bat, mate. Sorry. She attacked him, and despite him being bound and gagged, he somehow managed to fight her off, even while suffering injuries, which meant that he was bleeding heavily. That poor man.
Awful.
Terrifying. The following day, an estate agent randomly showed up at the house saying that Deana had instructed him to sell the property and that Richard would be in...
Oh,
where?
my God.
Florida. It was clear she had a plan to kill Richard, sell the house and make it look like he'd simply gone travelling. So off Richard toddled to the police. Investigators discovered that she had stolen from every man she had ever been involved in, and she admitted to defrauding Richard and others, but denied attempted murder.
The fuck?
I know. At the trial, she claimed self-defense from him, saying that she feared for her life during a bondage sex session that had gone wrong.
But he was bound up. He was like tied up. How was he threatening?
Well, I don't know how you prove that. I don't know when the police turned up, was he still bound? I don't know.
Who knows?
If the police did turn up, I'm missing a lot of facts here. But Richard steadfastly refuted these allegations, and despite all that, the jury acquitted her of attempted murder.
No.
However, she was sent to jail again for 3 years and 9 months after admitting conning Richard and 2 other men out of about £12,000. So
right, okay.
She's a stealer, but she's not a murderess. That's what they're saying. But something about the case got detectives wondering what happened to her second hubby, Julian Webb. The police had remained suspicious about Julian's sudden death. So in 2001, they exhumed his body in Hayling Island.
Okay.
And toxicology confirmed what they feared. He'd been deliberately poisoned.
Oh, no. We knew it was coming.
We did. Their investigations uncovered that Julian had been poisoned with a lethal mix of antidepressants and ground up aspirin, which they believe was hidden in an extra hot curry to disguise the bitter taste of a fatal dose of pills. Apparently it was Julian's favourite meal as well. And it was his birthday.
Have a curry.
You know, she was trying to treat him, but she fucking kills him. What a bitch. Finally, almost a decade after his murder, in 2003, Dena Thompson was tried at the Old Bailey and convicted of Julian Webb's murder. She was sentenced to life, but was later fixed at a minimum term of 16 years. Mm-hmm. The judge called her utterly ruthless and without pity, and her first husband's description of her was simpler. Pure evil, he said.
Right. What year did she get accused? Well,
2003.
And she got 16 years. Mm-hmm. She's out.
She's out, yeah.
Fuck.
DCI Martin Underhill, who led the investigation, famously said, "This woman is every man's nightmare, the most dangerous woman I've ever met. After the murder conviction, another chilling lead emerged. Police discovered that a boyfriend Deana had in Bulgaria in the late 70s, early 80s, so before Lee, her first husband, a man named Stoyan Kostov, he'd vanished without trace, Michelle.
Oh, my God. He's under the floorboards.
Well, who knows? He met Deana when she was training as a gymnast in Bulgaria. No one had seen him since that time. And as of 2021, he remains missing, and investigators have never ruled out foul play. And by 2022, Deana was being held in an open prison with day release privileges despite concerns from detectives. They believed she'd reoffend. Yeah, and despite Richard Thompson begging that she remain behind bars, the parole board approved her release.
Oh, God.
She walked out of prison, yes, Michelle, in June 2022 after serving fewer than 20 years for murder.
Jesus.
Press reports soon after spotted her out shopping, quietly living her new life. What are first husband Lee Wyatt's thoughts on her parole? Well, he said, "The woman I knew was an evil psychopath. She's never shown any remorse for her crimes, and it sickens me to think that this is beforehand. Soon she'll be out and walking the streets again." Third husband Richard, who she beat up, in this sex game gone wrong, said, "She can't change. She's never shown remorse. So many men were her victims. She's the master of putting on an act. She's a schemer. There's no way she should ever be released." No. Retired detective Sean MacDonald, who led the investigation into Deana and met her several times, is quoted as saying, "I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am absolutely convinced that she will commit further offences. She's now moved into an age bracket where there are lots of divorcees and people with big pensions who may well own their own homes with no mortgages. She picks her targets very carefully, and there are vulnerable men who are lonely and who have got money."
Exactly. And it's easy pickings, you know. She just needs to reinvent herself, give herself a new name, maybe a little bit of hair dye, a wig.
Yeah.
Not even that. Who knows?
She picks her targets very carefully. They are vulnerable men who are lonely and who have got money. And while Deana's current location is unknown, and don't come for us, Deana.
Yes.
If you're listening, she has previously been spotted in both Reading and London and is rumoured to be in a new relationship with a pen pal she met in prison.
Oh, well, where's the money? She only likes it when she's got some money attached to it. Sorry, Deana, don't come for us.
The detective, Sean MacDonald, says if it's correct, then this person must know about her offending. But some people are drawn into the drama and excitement of that kind of relationship. But if your father, son, uncle, cousin, friend, whoever comes home and says they've met a lovely new lady called Deana, then my advice is
run
to ring the police. That's from Sean. There are endless documentaries, Michelle, like I told you earlier, about Deana and her crimes, including The Black Widow from Channel 4 in 2005, Crime Watch Solved in 2009, Deadly Women 2012, Britain's Deadlier Women in 2013, and a 2024 Sky documentary entitled Black Widow. And that is the story of Dena Thompson, the lady who loved to kill.
Amazing, terrifying, and a lot of viewing. I have to put all those links on the Patreon, and if you
could probably just watch one.
Yeah, you could probably just watch one. I'm sure.
I'd just go with the Sky one. Yeah, the most recent one.
Well, I'll pop that on the Patreon, and if you're not a patron, why the bloody hell not?
Get on with it.
Get on with it.
It helps to pay our researchers.
It does.
Who are patrons.
Yes.
Thank you, Charlene Happy Chappy, for that story to be sent in.
And thank you, Geordie, for an amazing retelling.
Oh, and thank you, Michelle, for the story of your granny, Deadly Granny.
That's all right.
Potentially.
Little Granny. Yes, Black Widow Granny. It reminds me, a friend, I won't say who or where or which country, their recently widowed grandfather, who is in his early 90s, suddenly had a bit of a spring in his step. He'd met a lady. And my friend had to say, "Are you sure it's romantic?" Apparently, all these, ladies in their 50s and 60s felt sorry for this little old man in his 90s whose wife had died. Yeah. Well, he thought they were all after him. He thought he was in with a chance. Hot stuff. They had to let him down gently. But it did cross my mind, what are they after? Because if a 55-year-old lady is after a 91-year-old, come on.
I mean, I do like an older man.
Yeah.
But I think I'd draw the line at about 65 plus, maybe 70 plus. That would do me.
Depends on how well they've preserved themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, brilliant story. Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot to mull over, but women who kill, dodgy ladies.
Shady ladies.
Shady ladies.
Exactly. They are out there. But with that, Michelle, you know what? I think we have come to the end of our episode for this week. And thank you for listening to the Eavesdroppers.
Yes,
Dropaloppers.
thank you. Thanks for dropping in on us.
Dropalopping in. And until next time.
There's only 3 things left to say.
Wherever you are.
Whatever you do, just keep
eavesdropping.
Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping. Dropping. Eavesdropping. Dropping. Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping. Dropping. Dropping. Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping all day long. Eavesdropping. This is the song. Drop it like it's hot.
You know you've reached peak couple energy when your undies match. MeUndies Match Me has you both covered, literally, in super soft ultramodal undies, socks, PJs, and loungewear. Festive prints? Check. Cozy vibes? Double check. And right now, it's deal season. Get up to 50% off site-wide for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Take your couple game to the next level with MeUndies Match Me. To get deals up to 50% off, go to MeUndies.com/ACAST. Enter promo code ACAST. That's MeUndies.com/ACAST. Code ACAST.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living Associates have been committed to creating a vibrant culture and delivering exceptional services, making Brightview a great place to work and live. If you're looking for a rewarding opportunity to serve your local community and grow, we want you to join our team. Brightview Senior Living is growing and actively seeking vibrant associates to join our community teams, including directors, healthcare, activities, hospitality, and dining. Apply today at careers.brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal employment opportunities. Text BV Jobs to 97211 to apply.
Right across America, people listen to the Tony and Ryan podcast every day. That's us, by the way. I'm Ryan. This is my best friend, Tony.
Howdy.
Don't just take our word for it.
G'day, MJ from Pittsburgh. How did you discover our podcast?
I first discovered Tony and Ryan as a recommendation. They absolutely exceeded my expectations to the point where I was like, I must be a part of this in crowd.
Oh my God, I've never been part of the in crowd before.
Well, you're part of this one.
I'm Tony in crowd. Wait.
She'll work on that. You come listen. Tony and Ryan.